You ever step into someone's backyard and feel like you just wandered into a secret world? Not grand or showy, just filled with thoughtful little details that whisper charm and style. Maybe it's the way the sunlight catches a glimmer of glass, or the way flowers spill out of a corner like they're dancing. And maybe, for a split second, you think, I wish my garden felt like this. But then you think about the cost. The trips to high-end garden centers. The endless scrolling through DIY inspiration you're not even sure how to replicate. That's where we stop the dream, right? Wrong. Because what if I told you that all it really takes is a walk down the dollar store aisle and a little shift in the way you see everyday objects? Let's turn the ordinary into something you never knew your garden was missing. Do well to subscribe as we get ready to turn our garden into the best gardens in your town. 1. Dollar store hanging basket chandelier. Grab 2 wire hanging baskets, the kind meant for fruit. Flip one upside down and zip tie it to the other. Suddenly you have a sphere. Spray painted in antique bronze or soft matte black for a vintage look. Next, wind a strand of warm-toned battery fairy lights through the structure. Hang it from a garden hook or tree branch over your patio table. What you've created isn't just a garden light, it's a chandelier. It sets the mood, adds vertical interest, and looks like you spent $50 instead of $5. This is elegance, hiding in plain sight. 2. Glass garden totem with solar light. Find a few glass pieces, plates, candle holders, bowls. Stack them using these 6,000 glue. Clear glass works beautifully, but colored pieces can add personality. Think ruby red, ocean blue, or vintage green. Once stacked and dried, top it off with a solar stake light. Place it along your garden path, or in a flower bed. When the sun sets, these towers start to glow like mini lighthouses. They look like art installations, but you'll know the secret. You built them with a handful of glass and a light. 3. Terracotta fountain illusion. Pick up 3 terracotta pots in different sizes. Stack them with the largest on the bottom, medium in the center, and the smallest on top, just slightly off-center. Line each one with faux ivy or real trailing plants. The plants spill over the sides like cascading water. But here's the showstopper. Drop a small, solar-powered fountain puck into the top pot. It doesn't need wires or a pump. Just sunlight. And suddenly you have what looks like a working fountain, a peaceful trickle of water that makes your patio feel like a spa retreat. 4. Chalk-painted garden stones. Collect smooth river stones from your yard, or buy a bag from the dollar store. Paint them with black or slate gray chalkboard paint and let them dry. Then, with a white paint pen or chalk marker, write the names of your plants: parsley, rosemary, thyme. Use a little flourish in your handwriting to make them feel rustic and special. These markers don't just tell you what's growing, they elevate the garden bed into something personal and crafted. The kind of detail guests notice and remember. 5. Crate-based vertical garden. You take 4 to 6 plastic milk crates, the square ones that stack. Use heavy-duty zip ties to secure them vertically to your fence or a pallet leaned against the wall. Line each crate with landscaping fabric so they can hold soil. Then fill them with herbs, succulents, or even small flowering annuals. Each crate becomes its own living box, stacked in a patchwork of green and color. It saves space. It adds dimension. And it looks like something out of a garden design magazine, except you spent less than $10 total. 6. Glass gem stepping stones. You pick up a few aluminum pie pans from the dollar store. Simple, lightweight, and the perfect mold. Then you mix up a batch of quick-set concrete. Just enough to fill the base of each pan. Before it hardens, you press colorful glass gems, also from the dollar store, into the surface in spirals, waves, or mosaic-style patterns. Let them cure, then pop them out. What you've made is more than a stepping stone, it's a little burst of stained glass for your garden path. They shimmer in the sunlight, catching glimmers of blue, green, red. And every time you walk past, you'll smile just a bit. 7. Cutlery wind chime. You take a metal colander, yes, the kind meant for straining pasta, and a set of mismatched spoons and forks. You flatten the cutlery slightly with a hammer for that vintage, weathered feel. Drill small holes in the ends and tie them with fishing line to the edge of the colander. Hang the whole piece from a shepherd's hook or tree branch. The breeze hits it just right, and suddenly there's this gentle, melodic tinkle echoing through your garden. It's peaceful, handmade music, and a piece of functional art that costs you a few dollars in one afternoon. 8. Fairy door planters. You grab a couple small terracotta pots. Now find those miniature fairy doors or tiny dollhouse windows from the dollar store's craft section. Glue them to the front of the pots. Add moss, tiny faux lanterns, a pebble path leading up to the door, anything that makes it feel like someone lives there. You fill the pot with tiny succulents or creeping thyme, and it looks like a fairy tale cottage hidden in your garden. You didn't just plant a flower, you built a world. And that's the kind of magic that guests will lean in close just to admire. 9. Ice cube tray seed starters. Those soft silicone ice cube trays? They're not just for drinks anymore. Fill each cube with moist seed starting mix and tuck a seed into each one. Use popsicle sticks to label your herbs or veggies. Place the whole tray on a sunny windowsill or in a greenhouse. As your little sprouts grow, you pop them out like ice cubes and plant them directly into the soil. It's clean, compact, and reuses something you probably already have. Suddenly, the seed starting process doesn't feel intimidating. It feels like a fresh, exciting ritual. 10. Mirror illusion wall. You walk past the home decor aisle and notice small framed mirrors. Nothing fancy, but light enough to hang anywhere. You grab 4, maybe 6. Back in your garden, you place them in a vertical or staggered pattern along your fence. As the sun moves, the mirrors reflect bursts of greenery, petals, and light. The entire space suddenly feels larger, brighter, almost cinematic. It's like giving your garden a second dimension, a secret extension. And no one ever thinks to do it, but you just did. 11. Mesh laundry hamper compost bin. You spot one of those pop-up mesh laundry hampers, the collapsible kind that stands about 2 feet tall. In most homes, it's used for socks. But in your garden? It becomes a genius, breathable compost bin. Cut a hole in the bottom and place it directly on soil. Fill it gradually with veggie scraps, leaves, coffee grounds, layered like a garden lasagna. The mesh lets in air, which speeds up decomposition. And since it's light and collapsible, you can move it around with ease. In just a few weeks, you've got fresh compost, black gold for your plants. It's composting made simple, approachable, and totally portable. 12. Watering can light feature. You grab a metal or plastic watering can, something with a long, curved spout. Then, using a small drill, you make a few holes through the spout's tip. Now, here's the twist. You feed through a delicate strand of warm white fairy lights, allowing them to spill out and cascade downward like a stream of glowing water. Hang the can on a shepherd's hook and anchor the lights into the ground below so they pool onto stones or mulch. What you've created is pure evening magic. It looks like water frozen mid-pour, glowing against the twilight. And it costs you maybe $4. 13. Cake stand plant pedestals. You spot a stack of plastic cake stands in pastel or neutral tones. Lightweight, sturdy, and usually meant for cupcakes. But you have a different idea. You bring them home, spray paint them a matte stone gray or textured white to mimic ceramic. Then you use them to elevate your favorite potted plants. A small fern, a trailing ivy, a blooming begonia. Grouped in threes at varying heights, they create a tiered effect, perfect for display tables, corners, or even steps. You've turned a simple plant corner into a styled vignette. It's elegant, balanced, and incredibly easy. 14. Galvanized tub flower bar. You pick up one of those metal drink tubs, typically used for ice and soda at parties. But here you fill it with bright marigolds, lavender, or even a mix of potted herbs. Place it on a patio table or near a lounge chair. Now it becomes a mobile flower bar, a cheerful burst of color right where you need it. For summer parties, it's an herb station where guests can pick mint for their drinks or basil for their appetizers. Stylish, interactive, and refreshingly original. And once again, the dollar store comes through with the goods. 15. Pool noodle garden edging. And now for the most unexpected transformation. You pick up a couple of pool noodles, not the neon kind with glitter, but solid colored or white if you can find them. Cut each lengthwise so they open up like soft half pipes. Wrap each piece in outdoor-friendly fabric or burlap, secure it with hot glue or garden wire, and place along the edges of your raised beds or flower plots. Not only do they create a clean, uniform border, they also act as padding. It's perfect for households with kids or seniors, giving just a bit of cushion against rough garden edges. Smart, soft, and seriously clever. Now step back, not because the work is done, but because you want to see it all. From the glow of the solar totems to the soft clink of the wind chimes, from the fairy door planters nestled in the soil to the stepping stones that sparkle in the light. You didn't just change your garden. You changed how you feel in it. You gave it personality, purpose, and story, your story. And you did it all with everyday things most people overlook. A wire basket became a chandelier. A silicone tray birthed a garden. A laundry hamper began composting tomorrow's soil. All from a place most wouldn't expect, the dollar store. But you saw possibility. You saw charm hiding in plain sight. And now your patio tells that story. This wasn't just about saving money. This was about claiming your space. About transforming your home from the ground up, one clever idea at a time. About showing the world, and more importantly yourself, that beauty doesn't need a big budget. It just needs heart. So now, the question shifts. Not can I do this, but what will I do next? Because your garden isn't finished. It's growing, just like you. If this video inspired you, share it with a friend who needs that little spark to start their own garden glow up. Drop a comment below and let me know which idea you're trying first, or what you've already transformed with your own creativity. And if you want more ideas that keep things simple, soulful, and stunning, make sure you're subscribed. There's so much more magic ahead. Until next time, keep planting, keep imagining, and keep creating beauty right where you are, even if it starts with $1.